then we'll have a good game on our hands.
Yeah, keep trucking along. Perhaps the boys from Endpoint can get it done 2 days in a row, but now they have NiP in front of them. The Ninjas in Pajamas struggle street of their own, and we're ready to get into it, find out exactly who wins this series and which team will be looking better at the end of it all. Of course, looking best would be Henry G and Chad.
Yes, indeed, Chad. It's going to be an epic performance here required from both teams. Regardless of the group, they can both make it through, and it starts with a win here.
Okay, well, straight over towards A, into the PIF. Brolin is going to take some early contact on Vertigo, and we gallivant quickly with all 5 members in towards this A bomb site. Smoke's deployed. Sandbag molly, fantastic, and Brolin's boost looking to do some damage here. That plant can come through momentarily. Or U2, a deep smoke towards elevator. That might think of a little bit more aggression behind it. And NiP, they're on their haunches ready. The flashes are coming through the push too. Kirby leading the charge. Brolin's going to find the first, and the trades are there. Nerfs doing damage. They highlighted him on the desk, and that's 3 huge kills. Surreal and Crucial will get the other 2 and called out the pistol round.
Well, a very quick one coming in there from Endpoint. Fast up towards short, and then the smokes were down, Chad, but he actually went for the fake plant, trying to bait out those grenades, like the set piece coming through, and regardless, no bomb plant required. They take all the kills as the CTs aggress through the smokes.
Now, we've seen Endpoint play this map twice throughout the tournament, and they lost it twice, but they had some close-ish affairs on it, and also for NiP, they lost it to Vitality as well. So both teams falling to Vitality on the map of Vertigo, so we do have a bit of a sample size from them throughout this tournament, and as has highlighted multiple times, NiP are really not themselves here. So the red kits are out for Endpoint. They smell blood in the water. Yes,
absolutely. They all have to swim like sharks today. A decent start for Endpoint here, 1-0 up, and it will be the force buy in response from NiP. A stack of swords towards the A ramp. 3 players waiting close range.
What is going on here? Rez has got 1450 left. Everybody else is force bought in.
Okay.
Is he trying to save to get an AWP for Esatag early here?
I guess he could be dropping it for him.
That's just weird, though. Normally, Esatag would be the one to save a bit more cash, so that's a curious one.
Yeah, good point. That's actually a very interesting thread we'll have to pull on as the rounds go forward. Either way, the first kill comes in. It's going to be Plopsky to be taken out of the equation there. In terms of that A stack, they are going to be falling back, and they've still got a handful of grenades here available, 4 of them.
Well, we started coining this the double dip from NiP, right? We saw them yesterday when they would lose a player early on the force buy. They would just hold on to all their goodies and try and apply that into the trade of the next. Let's see if they can gamble the right bomb site. They are gravitating the majority of their forces over towards B. Ampus, his Deagle was hot to trot on Nuke. Let's see if he can find that same traction here. Max, a bit of a jaunt with Brolin. He's low, smoke to the 9. Oh, actually, Brolin's actually found that kill. In the meantime, Hampus, that Deagle, the time, 30 seconds.
It's getting a little bit dicey here for Endpoint, but they rise to the occasion, and now just Brolin, he'll be left on 18 HP in that 5-7. He has found himself 1 kill, but I think that will be it. The bomb should be planted, and that was the force buy for everyone except Rez. Still, you've really caught my attention there, Chad. I'm wondering what's happening. We know it's a big talking point within the NiP team, but regardless, let's have a look whether any more frags can be found for Brolin here. Doesn't look like it'd be saving.
This is the thing if you're NiP. Things have been going so horribly wrong that if you wanted to reinvent yourself for the last couple of games just to see if you can get out of this funk, right? Like, it might not be a terrible idea to mix some things up, try some new positions. Maybe even be let off the leash with the aggression, right? Because especially once we get to the T side, we know lack of openers, and you need to be creative on the T side for how you're going to look for these openers. You want the confidence to go for those fights as well, and Brolin, the man on your screen, used to do that once upon a time.
I think we both said yesterday in the Endpoint game versus Na'Vi. Na'Vi looked like they're playing the game very much by the book, and maybe that was detrimental to the overall result, right? They were trying to play a little bit too rigid, and Endpoint were quite loosey-goosey and hitting their shots, and I feel like maybe if Na'Vi had just been playing a little bit of lack of disrespect, perhaps, maybe we could have seen something a bit different. But either way, Chad, we do save a MAC-10 for Brolin.
He can drop the 5-7 across, so it's looking a little bit juicier here. Rez has got himself a P250. So 2 USPs and a couple of upgrades. Let's see how much they can milk out of this one. Wouldn't be expecting too much damage.
I don't know. The MAC-10 can be a surprising weapon. Right time, right place, it can cause a lot of damage, and it might do that just now. He's got Rez in front of him to bait, and they haven't spotted him just yet. That's the opportunity now. There's the first kill with him. Looking for a second. Either way, that's $600 in the bag for Brolin. He will go down eventually. Nuts will get himself a couple of kills, and Hampus gets out of there with the aforementioned MAC-10, but not for long. It's going to be Plopsky remaining here. Remember, they had no armor, and nothing really to bring to the round apart from that save MAC-10, and got a couple of kills.
I was having a look at some of the stat lines this morning before we came in. So this will seem familiar with what we saw from Endpoint early, right? They've had 0 second round force by victories, and that's by the nature that in a lot of their second rounds, when we've covered them when they've lost pistol, they haven't bought.
Yeah.
Right? So that really makes a lot of sense. They're the only team in this group who hasn't had a force buy or second round win off of that. You look at their second round conversions off of pistols, though, it's on par with Spirit and Vitality at 87.5%. And hold up a second, hold your horses. Rez has brought out the AWP. So, look, if he's the B defender in this equation with their setup, it's all right. But if he's heading over towards A, this is normally that's a tag's job.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not aware, after losing Device 8 months ago, it was S-Tag that picked up the AWP role, and maybe they're trying something else out this game. I'm not sure. It's the first time we've seen Rez pick up an AWP for NiP in years, Chad. He used to be the secondary AWP at times back in the day. But interesting to see where they go with this. It's the first pick here for the Ninjas as Crucial tries to fall back. The A ramp has been a problem for Endpoint throughout the outings here.
Those details we spoke about, which is Max throwing that lurk smoke up the ramp, and then Kirby was the one throwing the Molotov through the ladder room windows, and that's how they would take it late here. So Max being in the dirt, and Brolin's found a second. This is what you want to see from Brolin. A bit of confidence in the fights. Great from him. The babyface killer's got 2.
So, lots of damage inflicted. Kiabi down to 38, and Brolan at 1 HP, but he survives from now. It'll be 2 kills to his name, and Rez holding towards short with the AWP, watching that scaffolding area, and he has got adversaries on the other side here. Surreal and co creeping their way up towards the A ramp. They still have a handful of utility. 2 flashes, 1 smoke, a couple of Molotovs here. Flash comes over, just a nice clean pick from Nerds. He's good at those. That's a start. That's Brolan, though, the 1 HP player. Would have ideally like to find the AWP, but still holding strong towards short, but maybe not for long.
Burning
being flashed
now.
out. Got to hit this shot, and Kiabi completely wrecks him there. It's actually back to a 3 versus 3. Endpoint yet to give up a round, but this might be the one. Nerds and Kiabi low, and NiP know exactly where they are with just 20 seconds remaining. No time to fall back.
And as soon as they go into the site to plant, these nades can do so much damage, and that's if they even get there. Yeah, bomb spotted towards short. Save might be the best option right now as Kirby scampering late. 10 seconds left. Just going to have to dive into the site. There's 1 nade on S-Attack. There's no time for this, boys, and they will back off.
That was ambitious to even consider that. 5 seconds on the clock, and you've got 3 players there waiting for you, and you've got 38 HP. But regardless, there it is. NiP pick up the round.
I'm doing a little bit of reconnaissance right now. I'm just jumping into Shadow GG to have a look at their last game against Vitality on Vertigo, just to see like where we can spot the AWP. I want to make sure that we are covering this, what might be a new phenomenon here, accurately. So yeah, I'm just looking right now. We made it to the 6th round of play against Vitality. S-Attack had the AWP. He was over towards A with Rez. Let's have another look at future rounds. They weren't winning a lot, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to see when they did have... Yeah, S-Attack in a lot of these did have the AWP, so... Curious, very curious scenes.
Well, they didn't recover it, even though they won the round, Chad. It must have got blown off the map, or maybe they threw it away. I'm not sure, but it's not here going into round number 5. So we'll have to hold that thought. I don't think it's required, though. I guess this sort of team, they probably think, should we just sack the AWP off maybe at some points?
Well, even we see Zywoo, right? You know, one of the best AWPers in the world, just like, actually, you know what? I'll just fight with a silenced M4, and me and Apex will get it done.
CT side Vertigo, I think that's absolutely fine. An AWP is not a requirement. It's not a game changer. It can be very effective, but it's not required.
If anything, I think they use it in Vitality more on Spinks over towards the B or middle side of the map from time to time. So it's a curious thing to keep tabs on here, but there goes that little lurk smoke up to divide and conquer the ramp. Just bullets down range as Rez. This time, no AWP, but up close using the hamper smoke on the scaff is a bit of a one-way, starting to fade now. We'll have to replenish that, and does.
As mentioned, it's the A ramp where Endpoint... Oh no, Max.
That's a bit of a mare.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a mare. Lost control of the spray there completely, and really...
Grip on the joystick was a little bit
garden
much.
hose got out of control, but still they pulled the round back into contention. That's a lovely pick from Crucial, a player that's been performing above and beyond expectations here. 4 endpoints, and Hampus knows he needs a kill back in response here. He does sneak across the scaffolding, I believe undetected.
Oh, he's using this against them here.
Yeah, and he's actually timed it very well, or has he? Is it false information? Hampus looking for Kiabi here, and I feel like it's going to be 50-50. Kiabi hits the shot, though. The shaky aim gets the better of him, and that's going to be round. Plopsky can do nothing about this, but yeah, very unfortunate for Hampus, Jad, has to be said.
Yeah, you can see him subverting expectations there, right? Because the situation with that smoke that gets thrown against the scaff is it's a one-way. You normally don't want to pick behind that as a CT. Hampus goes, you know what, I'm going to walk all the way down, finds the timing, misses the shot, and that's not what you want to see early for NiP.
Especially after that Mighty Max sequence, you think, All right, Endpoint are out of this round, presumably, but they only lose one player.
Well, nerves probably at an all-time high here because both teams, for their survival or opportunity to get through to the playoffs, really need a win here today. Now, it's out of their hands, right? Other than the fact that this match... Oh, look at this. In between the ropes, we're going to be the WWE right here.
That's a rope break right there.
I wasn't huge into the name of the moves. I used to...
DDTs, the suplexes, the tombstones.
I just liked when they're on the mic.
The pedigree.
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
I liked the Big Show because he was like the biggest one. He's like 7'5" or whatever,
he was a
like
giant.
500 pounds allegedly. Like, I just thought that was just an impressive feat of anyone. But,
Just being a massive man.
Just being a huge man, yeah.
He's done well there.
Oh dear.
Nice catch from
Taken
Surreal.
down, and that was the moment the round was confirmed. Lovely work from Kiabi to react in time, and Rez, you can see he doesn't look too happy about the situation. It's been a lot of that this week. A lot of rubbing your eyes, deep sighs, and everything in between.
Well, here's the thing, right? If they do not make it to the playoffs, they'll have, 4 weeks until the RMR?
With that Molotov, by the way.
Yeah, they're pinned here. They're going to have to find Hampus under the stairs, and Plopsky just getting spammed through. Good diligence here from Surreal, and that tag has been noted. Look at that, simple as you like. Both kills coming through for Endpoint. And the turning point for Endpoint was when Regin was getting stuck into him on overpass.
Sure, you're right.
And then after that, they won a map, right? After that, they've come in, they've 2-0'd NiP, and
he was digging them out for sure.
He had to. They just didn't look like they were here to play.
Well, even the basics and the fundamentals, right? Losing all that A control, this one CT holding towards the other side of the map, and them just walking into B over and over again. They just didn't look up for it. But yeah, you're right. After that moment, they went on and beat the #1 team in the world online 2-0. So I guess it was a pretty good talking to he gave them. This still has a chance. There it is. These Swedish and Danish Deagles, I suppose, will be activated. But no, he's been activated all tournament long. He's been fantastic. What a player.
He's looking better and better, isn't he?
Absolutely. Like, it's just fundamentals and understanding of timings and rotations and willing to take risks as well, I think, was the most impressive thing. Like, on Dust 2, we saw it the most against NiP. That's when I said, like, they're maybe playing too much by the book. They're not expecting these kind of untelegraphed plays. And the fact he's walking top of middle, catching 2 of them walking to long, going behind them, killing them when they're actually faking A, and he's called this a fake, and he actually killed both the fakers as well. It was just remarkable scenes across the board there.
Yeah, I liked his ancient maneuvers in mid as well.
He's the king of mid on all the maps,
area,
right? So he's like mid ancient, mid does too. He's pushing everywhere, pushing smokes, and just catching everyone with the pants down.
Well, the Israeli players are getting a lot of hype at the moment, right?
Absolutely,
Obviously,
right.
Spinks, we got Flames in the mix now.
Boros
Look,
as well.
Yeah, Boros is from, where's he from? I don't want to get the country wrong. Let me get this right. No, he's. I don't believe he's Israeli. He was in this team though. I want to make sure I get this right. He's from Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, that's my bad.
No, look, he was in this team for a short period of time. But this is the thing. Flames was in this team, right? The Endpoint have no issues trialing people from basically anywhere in the world. They find the talent. They put them in the spotlight, and then they lose the talent. And we spoke on day one about the legacy members of Endpoint who were kind of upgraded in status. So if they do help propel these players up in Counter-Strike, they can benefit from that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's, I guess, as well, for Endpoint not making the RMRs now, like, there's not going to be much to play for the rest of the year. And I guess when players might get complacent at that point and maybe consider options.
Res Orp again.
Res Orp again. That is...
We've got the tally. That's prospect. 2 now.
Yeah. He's 0-6 right now, but early days, 5-1 down. And it's their T sides have been the problem in this tournament so far. And, well, Rez doesn't connect the dots on the first interaction with Mighty Max.
Ah, dear. Okay.
Plopsky, I thought he was dead as well. One more tick of the Molotov and he was dropped. But there we have it. Crucial white towards short.
Yeah, it's hard to watch, isn't it? NiP, they're one of these teams who, I mentioned it, when they had the stand-ins, the LNZs, the ZTRs from the academy roster, let's call them substitutes, they were always doing better than everybody expected them to, and now they've got the starting 5 that they were hoping for. They've been able to poach Brolin from Fnatic, and now we see them struggling. Now, look, you can have an off event. That's okay, right?
Absolutely.
The community says no, but people are going to have off events. They're going to have off days.
Especially when you're doing back-to-back tournaments, right? Long, grueling tournaments, like coming from Blast, you're playing like every single day and all the different brackets they have going on there. And then you're coming straight into another tournament when you're in Group A. It's just the luck of the draw, quite literally. It hasn't worked out in your favor. And you can have bad tournaments. It's not the end of the world. I think this might be a bit of a drastic change, switching the AWP mid-tournament, Chad. I've never seen anything like that in a while, I'll be honest with you, but...
We've seen teams change in-game leader mid-tournament before. That one right there is the Wild Wild West. But look, Endpoint continue to do what they've done fantastically well throughout, outmaneuver their opponents.
Yeah.
Some of the highlights have been after the initial exchanges, just how Max has been able to call the team around the map, same as Spirit. Chopper's been doing a great job of that too throughout this group. Can't wait to see them play a little bit later today. We still have two massive fixtures to come up after this one. We got Spirit versus Fnatic and the match of the week, Na'Vi taking on Vitality, Simple versus the Wu.
That's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it?
Just love it. Every time we get those two in the server.
Considering now it's not a foregone conclusion who's going to be winning the group and Na'Vi losing. Like, they really could do with beating Vitality here. That would be massive for them. That's going to be such a great game.
I think people were saying it was one of, you know, Simple's, Na'Vi's like worst series in 2 years, I think Blair said, right, in terms of score
Exactly,
lines?
in terms of scoreline, the fact it was a 2-0 and the opposition, I believe that all of that together made it the worst.
Okay, so you add all the factors.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, a save from NiP, an AWP in Rez's hands again. Would love to get him and Plopsky on the scoreboard here. Hampers with only 1 kill as well. It's really just Brolin who's finding much work at the moment. 7 for him, 4 for Tag. On the other side, they've just kind of been floating by.
The thing is, Chad, we've heard from a lot of the teams here in the interviews that they're not playing practice games in between because there's a best of 3 every day. There's a lot of Counter-Strike. So you've made this change, but you literally haven't had a chance to practice with the setup, right? So how can you expect it to work just dropping it in the next day? Now, presumably, you're locked in with this. If he gets 16-1 on the map, do you just go, oh, actually, Estag, do you want to warp again? Because that didn't really work out. What if he gets no kill?
Potentially, yeah. You bang on there. I think that they put themselves, they've been backed into a corner where this change feels like
the CT sides weren't the problem. Like, don't change on the CT side. Estag was their highest performer yesterday. He's been the second highest in the group. The T side, sure, if you want to change it there, don't mind. But this is not the solution. If you ask me, with no practice, Rez hasn't AWP'd really ever. He's been the secondary AWPer for NiP for a point, but
this is his chance. AWP trained. There's the first kill for Rez. Strikes down Nerd. It's a massive one to find, and they're just going to stall them out. So that's what we're looking for. We need a bit more of that. Your point still valid.
But yeah, just because he's got 1 kill, I don't think it changes anything. But yeah, you see what I mean? Like, the fact they've had 0 practice with this, it's a bit of a Hail Mary play. And nice flashbang. That's going to be a kill for Plopsky. They're starting to come to life now.
Both of them on the board. That's what we wanted to see. Brolin as well stepping back out, continuing to challenge Max down the ramp. Rez will find another with the AWP. Okay, 6-2, unless Kirby has a 1-on-5 up his sleeve.
I don't think he will from T-Spawn, but he's going to have quite the long waits here with 1 minute 10 remaining in T-Spawn. He's hoping that some mistakes will be found, and I suppose you can use it as a sort of timeout of sorts and just right, okay, Rez has got the AWP. That's a change, and we'll see whether that's going to be a problem now. As he actually is looking quite dynamic. He's moving around. We've seen it towards the A ramp. That was towards middle this time, and we'll see if he can keep it up. It's ideal to be playing with the AWP like that on Vertigo.
I just want to say, there's only a couple of AWPers in the world who can be a very good AWPer on a map like Vertigo. I don't think there's too many names that you can lump into that. So, look, this shouldn't really define the entire conversation. It just shows that this is going to be a difficult task for Rez, especially taking all those, like, awkward fights. When you're picking from top of ramp on A as a CT down over the cusp of those smokes, like, he didn't go off the map, or it's not a patsy situation just yet. This is a good angle. It's showing us just how close they are without really being close to one another. But Kirby doing a save. This is where I really wish in Counter-Strike we just had a button that was installed where both, it was like, we're not going to hunt you, and you can say, and we just press that and we just skip 40 seconds, and then we're just into the next round.
Yeah, that would be quite nice. But here we go. We managed to fill the air, and we've got 5 seconds remaining here. Kiabi just waiting towards middle, saving the AK-47. They've got plenty of cash here. And that's going to be $13,000 for Crucial, who hasn't been using the AWP on the T side of Vertigo at all, so continue to use rifles here, I'd assume.
Endpoint seem like they have very good game plans on a lot of stuff they do, the way that they're able to crowd control with their approaches. I think that the way that they approach the game is great. Sometimes it's just about hitting those shots, and Crucial, look, it's hard to AWP on the T side as well, so I don't mind the fact he's operating with a rifle here.
That flash was brutal towards the B steps. You see that? Bounced off the metal railing there and actually just completely wrecked him.
The great one with that flash is it gets everybody who are under the stairs as well. It's a really powerful flash. Everyone at home should learn that for their B-anchor buddies.
So, a bit of slower pace here towards the A ramp.
Brolin aware of these boosts as well. He's just pre-aiming the left and right hand side boosts that are possible to try and catch them over the smoke.
Oh, big grenade damage here. Not so much on the CT side. Estag takes 1 point of health, but it's a real Kiabi and Nerds have been battered and bruised towards this side of the map. So will they continue their campaign? As we say that, Mighty Max and Crucial take a nade to the face as well. They're getting destroyed in the utility war. Estag sits in the flames for a second there, down to 48, but just trying to make the CTs a little bit more uncomfortable. stop them probing towards the B steps as they'll be falling back towards A, presumably for an execution here. Rez, A ramp this time, was towards middle before, and they're waiting for the smoke to go down.
Yeah, Endpoint are in a bit of trouble because they didn't push these players back at B. All right, this rotation's going to come through. They haven't bitten hard, and Brolin's aggression down the ramp again. Getting this young blood activated is what they need. 40 seconds on the clock now, and they can throw another smoke to delay if they'd like. The rotation still not here, so NiP are banking on the fact this is either going to be a mid or a B play. Brolin and Rez are going to have to defend this on their absolute lonesome here. Perfect smoke, perfectly timed. Look at the clock.
25 seconds. I'm not sure they can even do anything with this. It might be safe territory. You got one smoke. He can throw to the left-hand side of the bomb side. Molotov towards boost.
And there it is.
Yeah, I think you have to save. It's not even worth it. You'll just be going up into the meat grinder here.
They've become more and more comfortable doing this as we've seen them play throughout. And I think when you already have a 6-2, about to be 6-3 lead, you're still comfortable, right? You just want to win 1 or 2 more rounds on this T side. You'd be happy with that. Max and Regin would be celebrating. So yeah, keep doing it like this. Give yourself as many chances to convert as you possibly can. Don't worry about it. Nerds can drop a gun for Max. Everything's good. So I like this conserved approach here from Endpoint.
Well then, getting to round number 10, if you're just joining us, it's the first game of day 4 here. Everything to play for both of these teams. They both need a win to stand a chance of going through Group A here. NiP more than ever. They need a lot of variables going in their favor. Endpoint just need to win this one, and if they don't, they rely on Spirit losing, I believe, later to stay alive in the tournament. But basically, the headline is they both need to win here to stand a chance.
Yeah, that's the simplest way that we can put this for you. This is a battle for the bottom of the barrel. So
the race to the bottom.
Yeah, if you can avoid a loss here, you can go into tomorrow thinking, hey, there's a shot, and that's important because we want to make sure that you can get yourself to those playoffs. ESL Pro League playoffs will be taking place in about 4 weeks' time here in Malta.
Lovely sunny Malta.
Yeah, it's still beautiful weather out there. 30 degrees every day.
Yeah, I still need to change out of these black jeans and black t-shirt, perhaps. It's not
shorts,
the ideal apparel, but here comes that initial grenade. Kiabi, a lot of damage there, down to 70. The M4 is a lot more powerful for dink potential there, but we'll see whether they can have a bit more of a successful campaign towards B. Got absolutely destroyed by the grenades. Also about 100 HP between them. Here comes the same Molotovs, and that's going to put Plopsky into quite an awkward position there. Even more so now, one bullet will take him down. Well, straight to the dome. Would do it regardless, but he couldn't fall back because of that well-placed Molotov. So great work from Surreal.
Great opener here as well. And Esatag, he's the man who's going to have to come over here and try and fill the feed. Exactly where Plopsky just went down and has to be aware of so many different elements here. There's the boost on his right-hand side. They can get the sandbags on the back. They can boost up here to the wood. They can just come up the stairs. There's a whole different plethora of options here, and they're going to opt get one player. It's going to be Nerds mounted up. Now, the scaling on this is everything, because if he can get past undetected by Esatag, he can scare Hampus here.
He's pulled a player over, so a little bit weaker. Just Rez over there, but he has got the AWP. But it'll be Mighty Max making sure he doesn't push. Speaking of pushing, Esatag probing towards the B step. Doesn't fully commit yet.
Oh, this
dropping
could be
an
nice.
incendiary. Gives them a bit more space to check these other positions, perhaps.
Oh, they're boosting. Looks like they're going to start the booster. This is very late. 30 seconds again. The smoke, well placed, well timed.
He saw him. Hampus will back up, and it's going to be the first couple of kills going in favor of NiP here. Back to a 3-on-3. Advantage NiP, I would say. They've got backup over here. The incendiary's dropped. And this next kill is crucial, and there it is. Joey will deliver, and it's going to be the double Molotov towards Devo here. Brolin has to move and find this kill, but Rez will be there to hit a nice shot with the AWP and a solid defense shot. That was really good from NiP.
Yeah, even the fact they lost Plopsky early to that well-placed piece of utility, they were able to stand stalwart on the site. Little combo there between Esatag and Hampus to stop them getting in. And it's really the timing of the utility. So one of the keys that NiP have clearly outlined is the fact that if Endpoint want to finish late, we have to make sure we hold on to our nades. We can't just be throwing everything within the early stages here, because once they're running through a gray screen, through a Molotov late, they're in a lot of trouble. Really heats up the situation. Another one converted. So this is much better look from NiP.
Yeah, absolutely. 6-4 now. One final buy available for Endpoint if they were to give this one up. So let's see what they can do here. You can see a couple of concessions made. Mighty Max still struggling at that A ramp. He's only got the Galil this time. I guess didn't have enough presence there in the previous round. Rez has confirmed it was a full B attack. They were able to rotate 3 and then 4 over before there was even any sort of entry granted towards Endpoint there.
Well, that's a nice little lineup there. Did hit one of the toes, so maybe not going to completely obscure vision of the bridge, but indicating that there might be some aggression coming Endpoint's way down towards the forklift room. No longer with a forklift.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Rez after the initial 0-7 situation, has pulled things back, managed to get 4 kills with the AWP. Brolan has been fantastic at this scaffolding position. Mighty Max has got his work cut out for him.
A shot.
That's a lovely shot, isn't it?
He's found Nerds a couple times now, but overstays his welcome. Crucial with the trade. One back. Rotation starting to come in now. And Endpoint, are they going to apply pressure quicker this time? Because the clock starting to become a real problem. Left side smoke. Creepy crawly up the scaff. Headshot molly in play. And 3 players for NiP here to slow this one down. Brolan can molly the plant spot. Got a smoke as well. You can see this perfectly lined up. Thank you, Rushley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Timing. As they start to plan. He's going to try and get it down, Surreal, but he's already low. He's going to burn to this.
It was still admirable. He goes down with the ship. The bomb gets planted. And as I mentioned, Crucial just picked up this AWP off the corpse of Rez. And this could be everything now. With the bomb planted, he can really cause some damage here. Retake is still possible. Incendiary available, and it's actually very effective with the flashbang follow-up as well. Mighty Max doesn't stand a chance. It's down to Crucial and Kiabi here. Crucial can find the initial kill. They should be fine with the smoke. It's going to enable the full defuse here, Chad. I don't think they can do anything about it. Another fantastic retake from NiP. They're looking sharp now.
Yeah, good round from Plopsky there. That's going to get him up to 3 kills. So they're 2 very important kills in a round like that. Their economy starting to build now. Multiple players getting closer to that 10k mark. And Brolan, after a full buy, still has 12k to his name. So lots of money. And the spam damage really hurts Surreal there, right? You could see him get chipped away at. Then he was always going to burn down to that incendiary no matter what. And just in the nick of time, he is able to plant that bomb. Crucial starts to activate, but Plopsky up and over, using the smoke. That second kill was great. Nerds here, right? As I mentioned, he's been caught twice now by that Rez AWP.
Yeah, true. Some lovely shots from Rez as well, has to be said.
This is quick.
It is quick. Focus towards middle this time. S-tag. Defensive position in CT spawn. You can see them crossing over here, and it looks perfect. To be honest, they're not going to be checking this, I don't think. He hasn't even got to get a kill yet. Plopsky and Hampus have been doing all the heavy lifting. Finally, S-tag can chip in. And another clean round here. They're coming to live chat, and that was the last of the Endpoint cash, I would say. After getting the bomb down in the previous, they managed to scrape together Galils and AKs once more. But that great lead they have at 6-1 has melted. And we're going to tie things up at 6-6.
Well, if they can get a plant here, they will be able to buy in the next with max loss bonus. So let's see how far they can really push the issue. Brolan says no. Max gets the dink, sure. And now Surreal, he's made the steps. Plopsky steps out. And that's 5 on the trot. So really wearing into action at this point. Brolan 12 kills to his name. S-Attack with 7, still managing to work with whatever. This is one of the things about S-Attack that really goes unspoken, and we've seen this guy play over a plethora of different teams over the years, right? He's been in Heroic in the past, a bunch of different Danish names. He stood in for Astralis. He was in the Cloud9 roster with you. Now he's back in the server, for a short period of time. Yeah. But the thing with him is, he's a very selfless player.
He absolutely is. No, that's so true. Like, he maybe too selfless at times, and gets himself into situations where he can't shine the most, you know?
It's completely supportive element, right? He's always out here. Like, I remember when Heroic needed an AWPer at one point, he AWPed because he was the only one really who could pull it off. So it's interesting to see that S-Attack will just do whatever is required of him. Learning Swedish as well. Can't say I ever learned a different language too. Okay, Nerds. Nice shot.
He's had enough, hasn't he? Plopsky also dispatching of potentially a couple here. Kiabi doesn't fancy it, decides to fall back. And, well, here we go. The utility has been tremendous from NiP. Let's have a look at that damage, Chad. What are the scores there? After this round, perhaps we can check in with it, because that was a significant grenade, and they continue to get chip damage at the start of every round. That's really good on the CT side, because, as I've mentioned a few times this tournament, the M4s, when you get a dink there, it's about 80 to 87 damage, and just taking them down to around 70 just makes things so much easier for you, and against those AK-47s especially. So, Kiabi, last player remaining once more, just the Deagle. Hit a couple of bangers this tournament, but it's not one of those we realized in this particular round. 7-6 as NiP take the lead for the first time.
Got a couple of high flyers in the util department right now. Rez at 220.
Wow.
It's not too shabby. S-Attack at 149. Brolan, a little bit off the pace here with 92. Got 52 for
Rez must have got that incendiary kill, right? On Surreal, maybe.
Okay, yeah. Oh, where it was melting him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Yeah, he got spammed. Who was in the assist feed? I think you could have been Rez. No, he died because Crucial picked up the AWP.
Yes,
must have been Brolan.
good point. Yep, fair enough.
Okay, AWP's back out for Rez. Deep mid-nade to slow any early progress, and here he is, just gonna take a swing on this. Crucial.
Don't normally see him pick up the AWP, so just going to be changing it up for these last couple of rounds, perhaps, seeing whether he could find the opening pick. Maybe fancies trying to take down the AWP of Rez. He is there waiting towards the scaffolding position as well.
See that smoke that Rez has just thrown there?
Yeah.
Patsy was using that. He would creep into it with a rifle, and then they had this flash, and he would push through the flash. It was actually pretty cool to see. They had a nice little maneuver spirit the other day. Some cool little tricks, as well as that Magic's smoke that we highlighted over
that
towards
Magic
mid.
smoke was very cool, yeah. I like that a lot. So now smoke deployed here, trying to get up towards the A ramp. Haven't lost a player just yet, but haven't really done much either. Still stuck down here. I was about to say, Mighty Max really does get a rough roll here. Every round, every time. Seems like he's always low HP going in first. And he'll lead the charge here once more. Challenging against the AWPer. That might be the best place for him.
Quiet though, Henry. They're reading this. They already have 3 players here. The 4th not too far away. Now they know.
Yeah, you're dead on. They've got no presence elsewhere. S-Tag holding middle, Plopsky holding B. 3 CTs ready and waiting. 25 seconds, a nice smoke. Brolan's looking over it, and
come on in, boys.
yeah,
The water's warm.
he's going to be mowing them all down here, I would say. There's a couple of kills, but a big shot from Crucial. Does it grant any further access? They've only got 10 seconds left and a Molotov on the bomb. I think that confirms the round. That's so frustrating. S-Tag just controlling them now.
Oh, if he plants now this time, he might be able to get... Oh, couldn't find the plant spot. Poor Nerds.
Oh, that's so gutting for him. What a great play, though. S-Tag throwing the incendiary directly on top of the bomb. Really kind of reading around excellently there at that stage. And was a couple of good shots as well coming from Crucial. AWP connects, and a frustrating finish for Endpoint. As we said, 6-1 up, and now it's spiraled out of control. They're 8-6 down. They do have a bye, considering they saved a couple of weapons there, but still, it was looking...
How did all these kills just happen? You think here with Brolin up the top that it was definitely going to be falling in the favor of NiP. I know it still did, but it looked good for Endpoint for patches there. So they get it done, and it looks like NiP want to walk away with 9.5 here. Very probable to do so with how this patch has gone.
S-Tag says, oh, can I have 1 round of the AWP at least? And they've granted that. A double AWP setup here. And Brolan, aggressive, of course, down towards the A ramp once again. This time, Mighty Max finally comes out on top here.
Their smoke missed. It actually worked against Brolin. It dropped through the girder there.
Yeah.
And that's a real rough one to swallow. This opening kill, the earlier space. Endpoint understanding that they need to have a bit more pep in the step, and now Nerds is just going to walk up looking for a kill. Right side smoke. Headshot molly, I'm sure. They should just go on this.
Nate doesn't connect. Still have a minute to play with, but yes, totally agree. I'll be watching for any B pushes on the other side of the map, and then now made their move known. Bomb will be planted. There's no grenades to shut it down. I maybe spoke too soon. He gets away on 2 HP. Nerds. He's had enough, Chad. He is finding absolutely every kill at this stage. Finally silenced here by Rez with that AWP. That's his 6th kill. And Crucial towards the sandbags. I dare say he'll get this one no problem. And the swing comes out, but the flashbang is very good. The utility usage from NiP has been excellent in this half. Influential, and they'll come back for sure. Crucial will take 1 before he goes down, and Plopsky surely doesn't have a chance.
Round confirmed. Kirby in the backlines there. The very late lurk to secure the 7th for Endpoint. 8-7 on the half. Have to be happy with that, but a bit of a resurgence from NiP with a new look AWPer Rez. We have to see how they look after the break. Let's see if NiP can pick up their first map win here at ESL Pro League Season 16.
What up, future pros? I have a nifty fast A smoke I saw Apex throw to help you on your pistol A rushes. You throw this smoke from the T spawn and it will block off the left side of the A side, allowing your teammates to run up short with a bit of smoke coverage. To throw the smoke, first shoot out the glass above. Really, this is the only one you need to break, but shoot them all anyway. Then get yourself stuck into this invisible corner next to this beam. Aim between these 2 dots as shown and jump through the smoke. This smoke will soar through the sky and land perfectly to block off the vision of short from the bomb site nice and early. As long as your teammates take out anyone playing close, you will have a decent standing to win the round. Good luck and rush A.
Welcome back to the dizzying heights of Vertigo. You join us here between Endpoint and NiP. The latter yet to win a map, Chad, in ESL Pro League. They went down 0-2 to Fnatic, 0-2 to Vitality, 0-2 to Spirit. But right now, they're in the lead on the T side of Vertigo as we get into the second half pistol here. Maybe this is the first map they can get in their remit.
Well, this is where their biggest woes have come so far in this event, is the T side. So let's see if there's a little bit of a revitalized look here. Similar scenes as what Endpoint went for, aggression towards A early. Now, we've already seen Rez on the AWP. What other changes are to come here? Well, into Crucial's face, lots of Glocks teaming forward. He's gotten one, can't convert the second, but Nerds is there to pick up the pieces.
Well, here we go then. It's a back and forth affair, but S-Tag and Plopsky bring it right back in NiP's favor. It's going to be just Surreal here. 3 versus 1. He has been very handy this tournament, but the bomb planted and no kits, at least in his grasp. There's one right in front of him there, so he can grab that. It's looking unlikely. He'd have to hit 2 very quick kills, and there's just nothing available right now.
I've heard him referred to as the British Adam Driver here. Let's see if he can get that done. The first shot is Crispy. Another nickname is the Moose. Well, I need to give him a bit of work here as the bomb being tapped and halfway gone. We'll get a chance for another fight. Too busy with the nades out. S-Tag's gone. Surreal might be able to pull this one off. Another tap of the bomb. He picked up the key. He's just going to stick. It's going to stick it right in the front of the face of Brolin here. Oh, and the defuse doesn't come through. Brolin continuing the good work. 15 kills for him. The pistol round for NiP, but only just.
I really like the approach there from Surreal. As you mentioned, S-Tag caught with the grenades out. He's good at them, but sometimes maybe just stay with your gun out. Focus on the objective, but gave Surreal an opportunity.
Look how close
here.
This was.
And I love the full defuse as well. What a great idea. But then Brolin realized, right, I actually need to stop him at this point. A turn of the head. Nothing to see here. And Brolin will pick things up. But a fantastic effort there from the Moose. And we will see it go to 9-7. Forced by on the agenda here for Endpoint. This game started to spiral, and after going 6-1 up, it's a bit of a disappointing scene here.
Remember my stat line, they haven't won one of these. This would be their first right now in the event, and it would be a massive one to try and draw this scoreline back to a 1-round deficit. So Endpoint, they're going to be focusing up on this. Now, they tend to leave Surreal on an island towards B, and NiP exploiting that right now.
So, bit of damage towards Hampers there. They've got their grenades set up and primed. Are they going to commit off this? They absolutely will. Looks like it's all-in maneuver. Surreal, you're right. He just has himself here. A flashbang to go over. A 1D and a fadeaway would be great. That was his opportunity. Unfortunately, this takes a lot of bullets to the chest and has no option to fall back. This will be a safe, Chad. This won't be the second-round victory they're looking for.
Okay, so that column of second-round break, as it is determined, will stay at 0%. So NiP going to get themselves up to double digits, looking good, pistol round and the conversion. And you want to see a bit more of this. A direct approach, a tidy execute, looking at some of the tendencies that have worked against Endpoint in this tournament so far, and using them to their will here, NiP. So fantastic work.
So if you've got your CSGO bingo cards out, we do have the opportunity for another unicorn round here.
Is that on the bingo cards?
No, I just made it up.
They should put it on the bingo cards.
Yeah, I think so.
Get that on CSGO Hub.
I don't think anyone else mentioned it but you and I, but we're going to keep it going for the rest of time because I think it is a nice little fun thing to follow.
Well, we had to skip the bingo night this week, right? So, you know, we normally go to the...
Oh, it's actually happened.
Down the local RSL club.
The first unicorn round of ESL Pro League, no one dies. You don't see that very often, let me tell you.
Take a screenshot.
Yeah, save
this
that
one in the bank.
It's a rare thing indeed. So, Endpoints do manage to save the Deagles in armor. It's a second bite of the cherry, if you will, as we get into round 18 here. But NiP running away with this one, Chad. It's one of those kind of like lackluster games to spectate when it goes down like this. One team goes up massively and the other one just comes back in the same manner, and then there's no real response in between.
Yeah, so what were we talking there? We had a 7-round consecutive streak, and out of the last 10 rounds played, NiP have won 9.
Yeah, it's a little underwhelming. It's difficult to get too hyped about it when one team just starts sleeping at the wheel.
Well, we really need to see the fight into the next, right? Endpoint can change that dialogue on the CT side if they contest in the next round. This one here with the double dip, still going to be a prickly round to get over for NiP.
Absolutely. Difficult to play against, especially walking to a stack. The Deagles can start spamming you down. They've still got those smoke grenades as well to buy time, run the clock down, and now it's watching towards middle there.
But here's the issue. The adjustment is to make sure they can't get executed on towards B again. And the B lobby is already taken. The decision from NiP isn't. They still have time to pivot, head back towards the A site, which would be the right call at this juncture. Starting to creep forward, trying to exploit B again. This is going to be a little bit more difficult. Easier now that Brolin's found Kirby.
So,
look at the defensive smokes here.
Yeah, you're right. There is a good chance they can actually hold them off, but 50 seconds. And S-Tag with the bomb on his back, they don't necessarily have to commit on this, and Hampus will be blind, and it was Rez's flash that actually caught him. Plopsky will take care of business, though, and, well, there we go. It's going to be absolutely fine here. Mighty Max with that 1 kill. That's about it. So, at this stage, just saving the Galil, and presumably, that's going to be it. I don't think he'll be getting another weapon or kill here.
And this is the closest to a bonus round you really get, right? Because normally teams are buying up a lot more AKs, but they didn't have any AKs over those first 2 investment rounds from NiP. So they had 4 Galils and 1 MAC-10. So this 1 kill, it's a Galil, sure, not too shabby, but you'd love an AK. Another kill, not bad from Max. Okay, up to 6 now.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent shot, wasn't it? Hampus goes down. A couple more of those would be lovely.
And remove that bonus conversation. They're definitely going to have a couple of AKs invested in here. I'm curious to see if they want an AWP on the T side. Have to keep track. Yeah, it's just, we don't know what NiP are going to do, right? Because this is, like, as mentioned, the back's against the wall. They have to come out and try and reinvent themselves here. And we don't know exactly what that is going to encapsulate. But very good work here from Plopsky. He started the game, I think he was 0-4-0-5 before he got on the board. I know that Rez was struggling as well, but now activated. No more questions about if NiP are here to play today. And Rez will bring out the AWP.
Okay, all right, Chad, I do like that. I respect it. If you're going to take this role, take it by the horns, I say. And there we go. He'll be presumably AWPing towards the A ramp at the start, taking the duel with Crucial, which will be pretty tantalizing, to be honest with you. I think that'll be a nice matchup. Here he is looking towards that scaffolding and spots Mighty Max there and actually hits it for 36 as well. That's going to send him packing. That's his round pretty much over. He's only got the Galil as well, saved in the previous round. Presumably had to drop the AWP for Crucial there.
Yeah, a lot of utility in that position as well. So Max could be susceptible to a molly or a nade being dumped on the head. Hampus, this is not going to be a necessary common clear. A reaction will be required. And there's no Drally in the server right now. So Nerds spots the toes, should get the kill. Well handled from Nerds. To hold that angle first and then to initiate second, that's beautiful stuff. Confident in his aim.
He's going to have to take matters into his own hands. He's the, well, Crucial with him as well. They're only 2 fragging right now. Need a couple more players to chime in and keep up. That grenade should find a kill. Oh, not quite. Only does 1 tick of damage there to Max and Nerds. Nice effort, though. 5 and 4 is the first advantage Endpoint have had in some time, I would say. At least 5 or 6 rounds. We'll see whether Crucial can survive the flames.
They either need to play retake or they need to push forward. They can't sit in limbo like this because they're just going to get isolated by spam. And it looks like the push forward is the answer. Wanting to hold on to short, Crucial with the backup. There's the molly. They have to play in front of this. And stepping out. Brolin's got 1. The molly gets the second. 3 on 3.
Oh, this is going to get awkward now. Nerds has been looking very good all tournament, but only got 40 points of health. Goes to the spam. No bullets connecting. And S-Tag might be jumping up towards the bomb site here.
Timing.
And there it is. It works out very well for him. Kiabi doing what he can, trying to take down fellow countryman S-Tag there, but not going to be working out for him. Surreal, Kiabi, no kits available for now, and no utility either. Red set up towards the sandbags. I think it has to be the save after finding that opening kill as well. The 5-on-4 crumbles for them.
I am liking seeing Brolin as one of the point mans here as part of this. Look, it's not working out so well for Hampus, only 5 kills to his name. He gave up that opening death, but Brolin did great with that trade and the molly kill over towards the short position. I love the little detail of the move. You can see S-Attack jump on the first element of the sight box, call for the flash. Flash went off. He was already playing anti, jumps up top, gets the elevation, uses the smoke, grabs the kill and secures the round. So tidy little details there from NiP. 12 rounds.
They're looking very good, poised to take their first map here in the entire tournament on day 4. Can't really believe that, to be honest with you. And it said T-Side's actually looking decent for once, Jack. They've actually got 4-0 star here. And it's been the talk of the town all week that their T-Sides have been woeful, which has been a fair observation.
Yeah, and one of the things is, right, like, if someone had the lowest stats in the tournament for T-Side, that's one thing, but when it was so stark, when the contrast in a lot of those categories was I think we mentioned Na'Vi with the second lowest utility damage T-Side team in the tournament, and they still had 5 times the amount that NiP had, right? When you have those type of stats
crazy,
out there, that's when you have to highlight them. You'd be doing a disservice otherwise.
So,
couple saves, couple buys.
Indeed. Round number 20 here. Impact player from the previous round, Brolin, of course. Nice sequence there, locking them in with the Molotov, taking both kills down. And we do have the AWP crucial, of course, and 4-on-4s around him. Getting to like the last chance saloon for Endpoint. They need to start showing us something promising here on Vertigo. And it's going to be the ARAM focus as usual.
It's obviously a map they feel comfortable on, but they'll be 0 and 3 on this map if they lose this one here today.
Yes, true.
So not a great record by any stretch of the imagination. Brolin, Hampus, Rez, all tickled down. That's a good start. Unconfirmed damage, however. This is where you have to have a bit of a difficult conversation, because when you're low on HP and you're in this default spread, someone's going to have to go forward to try and take some space, or you can explode and hope that you catch them off guard. And well, with them all now starting to group towards B, it might be one of these set pieces towards the B bomb site again. They still have 5 Molotovs in play, 3 smokes, a whole bunch of flashes and nades. They could really abuse Surreal's bomb site here. And the reason Surreal has to play like this is he has no backup, so they're going to get in.
Well, this is similar to what Team Spirit were doing to Endpoint as well. Just 4 Molotovs on their side, completely stifles Surreal's efforts there towards the back of the bomb site. He goes down early. Another save again, boys. It's getting out of hand now.
The adjustment needs to be to fight for... They need to be able to lock down A with 2, and they need to be either playing 2 mid or 2 B, because you cannot allow them to have B lobby and execute like this. You have to either stop them as they try and go for the execute, or completely ruin any plans by containing that B lobby. And if you don't have that control, you're not going to have an easy game, and it's already 13-7 now, so this is not looking good for Endpoint at all.
Looking very good for NiP, though. You have to say they're reacting well. They took, what, almost 100 damage at the start of the round there. They didn't panic. They didn't commit to what their original plan was. Adjusted, went back to that B set piece, which we know has been very weak for Endpoint. Like I said, that looked almost like a carbon copy of the Team Spirit execution with the 4 Molotovs, right?
Be surprising if they didn't just steal the execute and just rinse or repeat it here, because, it was very, very effective.
And nothing you can do against it, especially if you're just a B anchor by yourself and you've got an AWP backup. He smokes off, your Molotov down to 30 HP. They spam you through the smoke. There's no positions to hold.
But this is what used to happen to JKS on Complexity.
Right.
He got completely left alone on the B bomb sides and expected to defend while they were constantly playing 3 players. Sometimes even like the 4th man was leading towards A as well. You had to deal with mid. And, you know, you can't leave your B anchor like this. Right? You're not going to win. He's not even contesting for the site. His job is just giving information. You need to try and back him up. And here we go. Here's the change on the stairs. Rez, aware of the cross. Goes for a bit of a flicky maneuver through the wall. Oh, and simple as you like. Rolling onto Max again. That head-to-head is not going to look good for Max at all come the end of this one.
No, it's really not, is it? I feel like his head-to-heads on this map in general have been pretty poor. It was Zywoo that was mauling him at the A-ramp before. And this time it's going to be Rez for sure, but, or Brolin, sorry. And we're going back towards this B steps position. This time playing at least in front of the bomb site. Mixing things up, but you dare say a flash won't come through. Will they detect the second? It doesn't really matter. They'll get the trade regardless. The M4, never really going to find more than 2. But there it is. I think
they can just do that execute again. Yeah, they're just doing it again. And why not? Because you cross your T's, dot your I's. They're not going to be able to get into the site.
It's so overwhelming.
Yeah, the floor is lava.
I guess.
Right
that
now,
grenade
it's
might find a
Endpoint sitting
kill.
in a chair. The house is on fire. This is fine.
It's definitely not fine. Alarm bells should be going off at this stage. 14-7 on their map pick. After being 6-1 up as well.
Rez is already chasing. Rez is chasing with the AWP.
Yeah.
So that tells you how confident NiP are looking right now.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I even saw a Brolin smile. So things are going very
too.
well.
Well, he's got 19 kills to his name, looking to get the 20 bomb going. So I'm sure he will. Potentially only a couple rounds left, though, because Endpoint haven't found a round in some time here. This is going to be the 6th round in a row. Taking us up to 14-7. Nerds and Crucial doing their best to save the AWP and the M4.
Want to get the spotlight out, shine it directly on Brolin right now. He's been involved in 9 opening exchanges and has converted 7 of them. So that's fantastic work. And he won that pistol round clutch as well, which set the tone here in this second half. So really good game from Brolin so far.
Well, here was that attempted flash and just didn't hit the mark whatsoever. A freebie of sorts there. Didn't really have to work too hard for the kill. And as mentioned, Kiabi after Surreal was dropped, there was no way he was getting more than 1 frag at that position. They do have a pretty good buy here, actually, a full buy with the save weaponry, maximum loss bonus. And again, 2 players towards B, trying to show some presence at the start, try and get some positional control here so they can't just be fully executed on. That's been a real problem. There's back-to-back rounds now. 4 Molotovs landing on the B side, and Kiabi, things aren't getting any better for him. He will be dropped early on by S-Tag. And Surreal won't be far behind. That's the round over again, boys.
Look at S-Tag. He's just had to change role. Now he's playing with the rifle, has 16 kills.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's not going to get credit for it, and that's fine, right? People are still going to call him names and say he's a support player and this, that, and the other, but he's definitely doing his job here, and what is going to be NiP's first map win. 15 feels almost but secured. Nerds is going to try and defend. He's got 1. The spam not too bad. Hampus down to 44, but Nerds is low too. And
he's done well to do
his best he could.
He got 1.5 kills, but what can he really do here? Both your B defenders have gone down in the first 20 seconds of the round. They're trying to adapt. They're trying to be a little bit more active, which we want to see, but it's just not working for them, you know? And even more so now, that's going to be Mighty Max dropped, and that's going to be map point found. I dare say NiP have done it, Chad. These changes, say what you like about them, it has led them to a map victory.
Yeah, W's a W at the end of the day here. You said this round Endpoint had a full buy. Well, next round they've got a good buy. And do you get it, guys? It's not,
yeah,
not
good
actually.
buy,
It's, not B-U-Y, B-Y-E. Okay,
I
cool.
find the best jokes are the ones you have to explain.
Yeah, Harry does too.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Nerds desperately trying to hold on to the little he has, gets a second kill.
Bang! Oh, okay.
And his third.
He should have had that one. He should have had. He knows he should have had that one. We all know he should have had that one.
You can't win them all, Jan.
Yep. Well, NiP about to win their first.
Counter-terrorist timeouts called by Team Endpoint. Hasn't really gone too well on Vertigo. They had the option to pick Ancient, Chad, which was a fantastic map for them, but I guess NiP were quite famed on their Ancient performances in the last year as well.
Yeah, I did like some of the maneuvers that NiP had on the map. I think at one point I was considering them one of the best Ancient teams, so maybe that played into the decision-making of Endpoint not wanting to go into that den here. But no CT rounds on your map choice is not a good look for anybody. And Regin, look, he might need to give him one more of those talkings to here, because as we mentioned, this is practically last chance saloon for both of these teams if they want to keep themselves in contention for the playoffs. Both down the bottom of the barrel, both really in a rough position, but NiP are the ones without a win.
Yeah, this is just the start of the best of 3, but not the best looking Endpoint we've seen. Maybe you want to get the blue shirts back on in the break, Chad.
Yeah, get the home kit back on. The away kit's not working today.
It's not working at all. I think that might be the problem. Oh dear, oh dear. Brolan once again, Chad, has just been given a freebie. Mighty Max jumps in the jaws, and that's going to be him gone. What is that about? Like, is he trying to get the flash in front of him and hopefully beat the timing? Because it looked like the same result twice there.
I think what his end game is to get control so they know if it's going to be a B execute fast and they can try and back up that other side of the map quickly. But when you're giving your life up in vain, you're not giving your teammates too many options here. So Max has just had a rough go, I think. 6 kills, 16 deaths, 49 ADR. And Brolin just continuing this onslaught. He is looking very, very sharp today. 22 kills for him. A real difference maker is Surreal. He has the AWP this time, creeps forward, gets a tag. Plopsky put on notice, but they're going to surge forward.
Playing for pride at this point. I don't think Surreal can do much about this once again. If it's going to be the same sort of execute, you can see how overwhelming it is, having to drop his smokes now and just hit reverse. He has called for Kiabi, but he's really struggled on this side of the map as well. They'll need a couple of kills just to deny the plant and give them a chance in this round, but for now, NiP pump the brakes, boost up S-Tag here, wait for that smoke to go down, and still have plenty of time here. 30 seconds, all 4 players ready and waiting. Kiabi's starting to doubt himself now, and he'll be falling back towards middle. They've lost track.
No.
Are they both going?
They gave it all
back
up.
to go. And that's the worst possible outcome for them. What a way for it all to come crumbling down, but Surreal still alive, does take S-Tag, and maybe had the chance for a second there. Rez will plant the bomb, and poor old Nerds now. He's had a pretty decent showing, to be fair to him. 19 kills, 6-1 up, Chad, and it's going to end 16-7.
All right.
This has gone all sorts of wrong. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, the beacon of hope. Maybe he'll prove us all wrong here. Nerd steps on out, gets the first Brolin. He's had some crispy shots throughout this round, but now he has to sit by and hope that his team can convert it. Remember, Plopsky, that AWP tag, he's low. Smoke towards the bomb, the defuse, they can come through here. Rez has the AWP, he's only going to take 1 shot at a time, has to pull the bolt. Nerds trying to draw them forward, they really would love a round, they cannot find it, and Rez will seal the deal. NiP with their first map victory, and maybe a couple of smiles to go with it.
Absolutely. Quite the opposite in the Endpoint camp. They will be asking what the hell just happened. That's one of the worst performances we've seen for them after going 6-1 up, especially on their map pick. It's not looking good whatsoever. Coming up next, we have Inferno, but first a break and then the desk. We'll be right back.